Well, good morning again. And once again, happy 4th of July. And, as many of us know, of course, the more formal name for the 4th of July is Independence Day. Independence Day, and of course, as we've already talked about this morning, and all of us remember, of course, from our history books, history classes, that this is a time when we remember way back in 1776 when American colonists declared their independence from England. The colonists back then believed that the British government was overexerting their authority, that they were being unjust, unfair, particularly in terms of taxes. And so the American colonies decided to just declare their independence from Great Britain. But even though they declared their independence from Great Britain, did that make England go away? No, it didn't make them go away. As a matter of fact, there was something called the American Revolution that happened during that period of time. And even though they had declared their independence, there was this struggle. It went on for a total of 8 years. 8 years. But finally, after 8 years, the struggle was over. The colonists, what they had declared several years earlier, actually came to fruition, and they were once finally truly free from Great Britain. And today we're going to talk about another kind of struggle and battle for freedom, but it's not going to be a political struggle. It's not a national kind of thing. It has to do with something that goes on inside of each one of us. It's a spiritual struggle, a spiritual battle for freedom. And as a matter of fact, if you're a Christian, if you're a follower of Jesus, you have this battle going on inside of you all the time, 24/7. And what are we fighting? Who are we fighting? Well, we are fighting sin. More specifically, we battle against this urge to sin. So even though we're followers of Jesus, even though we're saved, even though we're Christians on our way to heaven, we still have this internal struggle, these battles inside of us, because we know what the right thing to do is, but we don't always do it. Okay? And to sort of introduce this topic of this internal struggle, I want you to see this really brief video. And for the most part, this video really doesn't have really anything to do with the sermon today, okay? But there is something that I want to sort of pick up on in terms of an illustration. So, Mike, if you can please show us that video.
Hello, I'm a Mac.
And I'm a PC. What do you have there?
Oh, I was just looking at this photo book. I made an iPhoto. You want to see it?
Oh, sure, I'll take a look. Why not? Well, go on, rip it in half. Nonsense, it's beautiful. Ask how he made it. Oh, you don't care about arts and crafts? You like work. Would it hurt you to loosen your necktie every once in a while and have a little fun? Oh, fun. We tried that once. It was nothing but pain and frustration.
So what do you think?
It's good.
You know what? We obviously did not have audio there, but you know what? That's okay, because as I started to say before that video was played, the video really doesn't have any real purpose for the sermon, except I wanted you to see the guy in the red suit and the guy in the white suit. Did you pick up on that? This is a commercial for iMacs, okay? But we're not going to talk about computers. We're not going to talk about iPhones here. But in this brief video, which we didn't hear, but we could see everything, actually, was very effective. The PC guy, the guy in the suit, the guy with the glasses, he has a decision to make. And so all of a sudden, bing, here comes this man in a red suit, sort of a satanic-looking suit. And this man wants to convince the PC guy to do something bad. And then all of a sudden, bing, over here on the other side, a man in a white suit, sort of an angelic-looking suit. He's trying to convince the PC guy to do something good. Now again, theologically, that video has no basis in reality whatsoever, but it begins to give us perhaps an idea on the struggle that we have inside of us. We know what the right thing to do is. We hear the voice of God. We hear the Spirit of God who is living inside of us. That's the guy in the white suit, okay? But there's something inside of us, something inside of you, inside of me, inside of all Christians that still wants to sin, and it tries to convince us to do the wrong thing. That's where we're going today, that there is this internal struggle. We know what it is we are supposed to do, but as Christians, even though we're followers of Jesus, even though we have the Spirit of God, we still end up doing the wrong thing. Does any of that sound familiar to you? How about this one? Let me just throw out a couple of perhaps examples that maybe you can identify with. Hopefully not, but perhaps you can. Let's say you're a Christian and you go out on a date. And you know from Scripture that, as a Christian, only men and women who are married can have sexual relations. So you tell yourself before you go on a date, don't go too far. Now, come on now, don't go too far. You know that that's wrong. And you go on a date, and what happens sometimes? What may happen sometimes, maybe, you end up going too far. What is the deal with that? You're a Christian. You know what the right thing to do is, but you end up doing the wrong thing. Why do you do that? Or how about this one? Maybe you go shopping and you go to the mall. I'm not sure anybody goes to the mall anymore, but let's say you go to Kohl's, okay, or Best Buy, or the sporting goods store, and you sit out in the parking lot and you give yourself a pep talk. Now, come on. Don't buy anything that you can't afford. Now, don't put anything on the credit card. Don't buy anything. Only buy stuff that you need. Don't buy anything that you can't afford. And then you go in the store, and what do sometimes? You end up buying something that you can't afford. What is the deal with that? You're a Christian. You know better. You know that you shouldn't spend money that you don't have. You know that you shouldn't be going in debt for things like that. Why do you do that? Or how about this one? There's somebody that you have had problems with in terms of interpersonal relations with in the past. And you're going to talk with this person, you're going to see this person, and so before you do that, you give yourself a pep talk once again, Now, don't say anything that you're going to regret. Don't get mad. Don't say anything bad. Don't cuss. Don't say anything mean. Don't gossip. Don't say anything that you're going to regret. But then when you see the person, what happens sometimes? Once in a great while, you end up saying something that you regret. But you're a Christian, so what is the deal with that? Why do you keep doing that? Why does it keep happening? Does any of this sound sort of familiar to you? Maybe not these exact examples, but can you identify with some of that? That's where we're going today. We have this internal battle going on inside of us. And we're going to talk about that today. Even though we know that what we're doing is wrong, sometimes we just find ourselves doing the exact opposite of what we know to be right. Now, today we're actually going to talk about why that happens. Why? As a follower of Jesus, as a Christian, why do I still sin? Even though when I know that something is wrong, why do sometimes I am doing the exact thing that I know is wrong, that I know I shouldn't be doing? Well, we're going to talk about why that happens today. Now, if you're here today, and maybe you're up late last night, you're watching fireworks or whatever, and partying, it's a wonderful thing, and maybe you're just a little tired right now, and you're wondering, maybe I should just rest my eyes here for the next 20 minutes. I could just sort of just sit back and kind of cool it while Chris preaches. Well, let me give you a couple reasons not to do that. Because number one, this is an important topic. If we are not well educated about this internal battle that goes on inside of each and every one of us who are Christians, we may get discouraged. Discouraged as in, I'm a Christian, but I just keep sinning. And you get discouraged, you get depressed, you start beating yourself up, or maybe even worse, you start feeling hopeless. Again, I'm supposed to be holy, and I just keep making these terrible mistakes. What is wrong with me? I'm a total failure.